So, before we get started with my normal introduction, as I usually do for a reaction video, I thought we should try something a little different. So we're gonna cue a little bit of mood lighting right here. Is it good? Okay, I think we're working with this. Okay, so before we get started, this is just something I wanted to say. This is a reaction to Control. My reaction to Control. Control by Janet Jackson, Control by Miss Jackson. And this time, I'm gonna do it my way. I hope I enjoy this as much as you do. Are we ready? I am, because it's all about control, and Janet has got lots of it. Hey everyone, how is it going? It's your pal Sal here. I apologize for that slightly corny introduction, but I couldn't resist. It's just too funny. So in case you couldn't tell, today we are reacting to Janet Jackson's third studio album, Control. This is such an important piece of Janet's career because this is literally, we all know, we're going through this discography journey together. We know what these last two albums were. She had no control. And guess what? Now Miss Jackson has got the control. So Control, like I said, it's a very important album in the Janet sphere. One that I know quite a lot of songs from, and we're just gonna detail everything real quickly before we get started. So this album was released on February 4th of 1986. Coincidentally, this album last week celebrated its 35th anniversary. I thought about actually filming this video on that day, but then, you know, listen, I'm in the middle of watching, going through all of Law and Order SVU right now, so that kind of, that triumphed a little bit over that day. I apologize. But either way, the date for this video was already set, so it's fine. But yes, this did celebrate its 35th anniversary, and that's incredible, iconic, amazing. And this album was a #1 hit on the Billboard 200 and spawned 7 singles. That's crazy considering this is technically a 9 or 10, however you want to view it, track album, because yes, there is a bonus track, but we'll detail that when we get to it. So out of all the singles, many of these, I believe technically 3, well technically only 2.5 I know, so I'll have to explain it. The first single was What Have You Done For Me Lately, which charted at #4. Kind of shocked me, I thought that would be a #1 single. Nasty, which charted at #3. Again, I was kind of shocked that that wasn't a #1. The third single was called When I Think of You, which charted at #1. I don't know that song though, so I'm like, that's the #1 hit? Track #4 is Control, and here's the irony of all this, as you know, we've just gotten that intro. I really only remember the beginning of this song, like that this is story of control, my control. So that's all I remember from that song. I could not tell you how it goes, so in a minute here we're gonna be blown away, I'm assuming. The 5th single was Let's Wait a While, which charted #2. 6 was The Pleasure Principle, which I recognize the title of, but I don't know the song, which charted #14. And the 7th single was Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun. It did not chart, although it looked like that was an international single. But nonetheless, 7 singles, Busy Woman. I'm excited to listen to this album because, like, you know, again, this is where Miss Jackson, like, if she was just Janet Jackson before, this is where she became Miss Janet Jackson, or Miss Jackson if you're nasty. So I'm so pumped to listen to this. You know, this is really truly the beginning in a sense, even though I will say I do stan Janet Jackson debut album. Those hits have grown on me. Well, they're not really hits, but they could have been, they should have been. And I guess that's all I really have to say. Sorry this has kind of gone on a little longer, but I think the best thing to do is to get started. So we begin, again, I only remember the intro to this, so this is truly listening to Control for the first time, so here we go. This is track #1, Control.
This is a story about control.
Yes, it is. I gotta turn the shit up, hang on. Already, this is just like miles above everything from the last 2 albums. It's all about control.
And I've got lots of it.
That's right, bitch. Okay, come on. So far, this part does not, it sounds familiar, but it also doesn't. Wait, so she's 17. How old was she when she recorded this? Someone let me know. I don't got time to do that on the spot, so just tell me how old was she.
I did what my father said and let my mother mold me. But that was a long ago.
That was a long ago.
I got to have a life.
Control.
Now I'm all grown up. A little easier when you get the chance just to
Come on.
control.
have control of this.
That's right.
I feel like doing the robot. I don't know why.
I do what's right for me.
Hey, control. You ain't control me, baby. Oh. Okay, that was Control, and I have to say, you know, like I said, I know that I had to have heard this one before because I remembered the intro, but I didn't remember the song. But in all honesty, this is truly the first time of me hearing it because going in, I know everything that like led up to this. Where she could not be any more black and white with it in these lyrics. She was like, when I was 17, I did what my mom said, I did what my dad said, and guess what, bitch? I'm not doing that anymore. I'm in control. I'm the one. And this song is like, it's interesting too because a lot of people have been telling me it's like Get Ready Sal, because once you get to some of the later albums, she's got like interludes, intros up the wazoo, so it's like I have to like go through and detail everything before I even listen to it to make sure I play everything correctly. But this is just such an intro to the album. Like, it's like we're going on a journey. This is Janet taking control. This is mine. This is my project. This is material that I love that I'm putting out. What I find really funny is because one of the things I was curious about, because this song is 5 minutes and 53 seconds. Not mad about it. I like it as the intro. But I was curious. I was like, there's a radio edit to this, right? And there is. But what I find really funny is that on some editions of the single, the B-sides were Fast Girls and Pretty Boy, 2 songs from Dream Street. And I'm like, I kind of hate that and I love that because like they should not be associated together, but it's kind of funny because like you could play Control and be like, this is Janet doing material that she's in control of, and then you like go to side B and she should be like, before you listen, this is me when I'm not in control, and then plays Fast Girls and Pretty Boys. So Control, amazing intro. It's a fun song. Not a whole lot to it. It's more production over. I mean, it's very strong lyrically, but you know what I mean. It's not like all lyric, you know. But I mean, a great intro. I mean, damn, amazing. Okay, track number 2, a song I know. A song. Well, again, you guys probably already know all these, but this is one I know and I love. This is Nasty. Here we go. Beats. Come on. Hey. Ba-dum. Hey. Oh. Hey. Whoa. Let's go.
Sitting in the movie show, thinking nasty thoughts. I better be a gentleman before you turn me off. That's right, limited, nasty boys. Don't do a thing.
Come on.
Oh, you nasty boys. Nasty boys. Don't need a change. Oh, you nasty boys. Cause privacy is my middle name. My last name is Control.
I never thought of that. No, my first name ain't Baby. It's Janet. Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Nasty boys. Don't need a thing.
Come on, let's go. Hey, ho, whoa, oh, you nasty boys. Okay, that was Nasty, Nasty Boys. I don't know, I was like about to be like, it's nasty, it's not Nasty Boys, but sometimes you're just like, Nasty Boys. What I want to talk about is how I discovered this song. So, like I said before in when I did Janet Jackson's debut album, how I learned most about her songs was through the set list of the Unbreakable World Tour, because like I was curious and like I just downloaded that set list and I made a playlist. And I believe that if you look into the original set list, this is either the second or third song. And I remember the first time I listened to it that, give me a beat! And then that, like the beat, and then I remember just being like, whoa! I was like, what is this? The Nasty Boys is such a good song. Because it's like, you know, it's funny because last album, and this is funny putting this in context, she is looking for a pretty boy, but now instead, she wants a nasty boy. Which I feel the same way too. So it's like, I mean, just with this song, you just feel your inner hoe come out. You're like, oh, I want those nasty boys. And then her vocals are so smooth on it. Her speaking is so smooth on it. Everything about it is just so cool, so sleek, so chic. It's a perfect song. This is one that also, you know, I mean, it's not even long. It's 4 minutes, but you never want it to end. It's just like it's a party. And I'm kind of shocked that this was not a #1 single because I really thought it was going into this, but Nasty is that bitch, and I can only hope to be as as nasty as Nasty one day. Track number 3 is another iconic masterpiece. This is What Have You Done For Me Lately.
What's up, girl?
He stood me up again.
Again? I've heard this intro
What's
before.
up with this guy? Do you really like him that much?
Yes, honey, I love him.
I
He
love
is fine.
him.
He does a lot of nice things for me.
I know he used to do nice stuff for you, but what has he done for you lately?
Hey, oh,
Used to be a diamond, you would pimp for me. Used to brag about it all the time.
who's right?
What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah.
Come on.
What have you done for me lately?
Come on.
Ooh, yeah. You ought to
Be faithful.
for the little things, but little things are all you seem to give. You're always putting off what we could do today. So Barbara says, you've got one life to live. Who's right? Who's wrong? What have you done for me lately?
Ooh, yeah. Come on. What have you done for me lately? She's scatting again. She scats in every album, apparently. Wow. Okay, that was What Have You Done For Me Lately, and I have to say, the story, so when I learned this song through the playlist, but it turns out I knew the hook of this song years before I ever listened to the actual song, so I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the wonderful film, Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, but there's a medley towards the end of the film, which is like the joyful, joyful medley, and it incorporates the chorus of What Have You Done For Me Lately in a point of it, and I always thought that part, it was like, because I think they changed it like, what have you done for him lately? And when I first heard this song, I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is that song from Sister Act 2. I didn't know. No one told me. So this song is, again, it's just as much of a bop with Nasty. Although this one, she's a little pissed. She's like, what have you done for me lately? Because you ain't done shit. And tell me, please, for the love of God, tell me, what'd you do for me? Because I want to know. You think you're God's gift to this earth? Well, guess what, sweetie? You're not. It ain't you. I've known many people like this where I'm like, what have you done for me lately? I know what I've done for you, but what have you done for me? So this is just such a bop of a song. I love it. Again, this is one you never want to end. You're just like, it's amazing how it is. I love it. Track number 4 is called You Can Be Mine. And this is one of the few songs that was not a single. So let's hear it. You can be mine. Her vocals sound really nice. That's easy to follow. I like that. What you gonna do? What? I feel like something freaky's happening right now. Ooh. Interesting. that line one more time. Wow. Hey. Okay, that was You Can Be Mine, and I have to say the first thought that comes to my head when I think of this track is joyous. It's so far I feel like in a sense, well, production-wise, I guess it's not all that different from everything else. Lyrically, I feel like it's a much more happier song. I mean, not to say she's not happy in the other ones, but you definitely feel like overwhelming happiness through this. There's this guy that she likes, and she's telling him, and she's like kind of seducing him, and she's like, "You can be mine. Come on, we just got to give it a try. Come on, and if you're mine, we'll have a celebration." I love how there was like points where she was like, "Come on, guys, let's clap." Almost it reminded me of like when Peter Pan's like, "Clap so Tinkerbell can come to life." It's like we're clapping so Janet, that guy, can be hers. I really loved the chorus of this. It was so strong. This is a song that I feel would definitely pop off live if she did it in her shows. I'm not sure if she does. One day when we check out some concert tours, we'll know. But I loved it. I loved her vocals. I loved everything about it. Wow. Just so joyous. Very beautiful. Okay, track number 5. Now, most commonly, most of you probably recognize track 5 as being The Pleasure Principle. However, there was a bonus track that was included on the Japanese pressing of the album, which, it's weird that they kind of put it in the middle of it, not towards the end, but I mean, we do bonus tracks here, so we gotta cover it. So track number 5 on the Japanese pressing is a song called Start Anew. And yes, I did do my research. This is a B-side. Well, it's technically not even a B-side, because I don't think it was released as a B-side, but it was recorded during the Dream Street sessions, so a little nerve-wracking, but it's part of this, so we gotta listen to it. So this is Start Anew. I'm a little torn right now because on the one hand, if you imagine like with this towards the Dream Street sessions, which is where it's from, and if it was included on the album, if it was on Dream Street, it would have probably been the best track on the album. What I love about the song is that it kind of soars, and which is kind of what she's doing. She's moving on. There's her and this guy, they're starting anew, they're building a new life, and there's like this triumphant, like hopeful feel to it. So I didn't hate this song whatsoever, and I'm kind of like, oh, this is actually kind of good. The problem is that when you slot it into Control so far, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Sound-wise, it sounds a little more early 80s. She sounds a little younger. But it's kind of a shame that this was like relegated to this position, because this could have been like on Dream Street and it could have been one of the better songs on it, because I actually genuinely did like this song. So as a part of Control so far, I don't know if I'm feeling it, but because it's really, I mean, listen, like I said, I always do bonus tracks because you got to do them. You just got to. In terms of the album, I get that this does not really work. It's not like, ew, like, get off of here, but I'm also like, you don't belong here, you know what I mean? So it's tough because I'm going to put a like next to it because I did enjoy the song. I thought it was pretty. But does it belong on Control? Not necessarily, but maybe we'll change our minds towards the end of the album. Track number 6, The Pleasure Principle, which is technically the second lowest charting single because the last one didn't chart in America, but yeah, so technically the lowest charting. This charted at number 14, so let's hear it, The Pleasure Principle. wasn't expecting this. I like her belt here. Okay, that was The Pleasure Principle, and this song, it's good. I mean, Janet, I think her vocals are what my favorite part was, is that she's belting towards the end. She's really feeling this one, and she sounds great. The production is rather lush. I love that it's just got this vibe that really does stick out. However, I will say that this is probably my least favorite track I've heard so far. Yes, I would argue I did enjoy Start Anew a tad more than this one. Lyrically, what I found, because like I wanted to search this up because I was like, am I picking up what she's putting down? Turns out I was. Basically, lyrically, this is a song about Janet taking control of a personal relationship and refusing to settle for loveless materialism. I don't vibe with that. Much like how at the time, you know, there was Madonna. I would have been a material girl living in a material world. So that's more me. Other than that, though, I mean, it's a fine song, probably my least favorite. So I'm a little torn if I'm going to put a like next to it. I'll give it a few more listens and see what I think. I don't really have, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I just wasn't in love with it. Track number 7, When I Think of You. Now, this was the song that hit number 1 on the Hot 100. So I'm kind of like, do I know it? Let's find out. Okay. Do I know this? I like want to say it sounds familiar, but I feel like I'm just fooling myself. Okay, I'm really torn right now because on the one hand, I think When I Think of You is a good song. It's, again, joyous. I like her presence in it. But I would be lying if I said I'm kind of pissed that this was a #1 hit and What Have You Done for Me Lately and Nasty and Control weren't. I'm like, this was the #1 hit? Okay. You know, I have to remember sometimes I'm like, you know, being #1 doesn't mean everything. And I think of that especially with Madonna because, I mean, if you think about it, one of her #1 singles is This Used to Be My Playground. And I'm sorry, love that song. The fans do, and a lot of people do. But, I mean, it's not remembered as, like, one of her big hits. And that was a #1 hit, but, like, Holiday wasn't. Or, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay. That was When I Think of You. And I'm going to put a like next to it because, I mean, it's a fine song in itself. I'm just a tad confused into how this one was just the #1 single, but it's fine, I guess. Track number 8, which was another song that was not a single. This is He Doesn't Know I'm Alive. Okay, nice little sax. That's sad. No. No. Oh, Janet. Wow, Janet. Oh. Excuse me. No. I did not. Janet could do borderline. That's probably not a whistle note, but borderline whistle note. Okay, Miss Jackson. Okay, so He Doesn't Know I'm Alive. Lyrically, this is a song that kind of reminded me of Dream Street territory. I hate saying that because I feel like this is a really good song, but it did kind of make me think of that. I was kind of like, sounds like if they put any less effort into it, it would have been on Dream Street. But other than that, I thought it was actually a really cute song. It's a story song. She's talking about this guy that she really likes, but he doesn't even know she's alive, and she's just like longing for him. And this so far is probably the best vocal I've heard out of her. Those higher notes were gorgeous. Dang. Okay. This was kind of like a weird surprise, but I like really enjoyed it. Like I had a lot of fun listening to this one, and I honestly can't wait to listen to this one again. We've all been there. We know a guy who we're like, he doesn't even know that I'm alive. It's fine. It's cool. It's chill. It's whatever. But we've been there. Track number 9, Let's Wait a While. This single charted at number 2, which again is higher than What Have You Done For Me Lately and Nasty. So let's hear it. Oh, is it a ballad? Oh, that's pretty. Lush! We love it.
We love you. Let's take it slow.
Okay.
When we get to know each other.
Okay, I'm liking this.
And we're both feeling much stronger. Then let's try to talk it over. Let's wait a while.
Aww.
Before it's too late, let's wait a while. Before we go too far.
So pretty.
Let's wait a while. Let's wait a while. Before it's too late, let's wait a while. Wait a while. Our love will be good. Let's wait a while.
I love the orchestra. Let's wait a while, baby. Okay, that was Let's Wait a While. And I have to say, I'm still a little confused into how this was the number 1, or this charted higher than What Have You Done For Me Lately and Nasty. However, I liked this one a lot more, so I feel a little more comfortable being okay with that. Let's Wait a While was just a really sweet song. It's really funny considering she has a song in her last album called Fast Girls, and now here she is, she's like, let's wait a while. The production on this was absolutely lush. She sounded gorgeous. I would argue that this is probably, in a sense, her most, even though I do love the vocals on He Doesn't Know I'm Alive, this is probably her best vocal. It's very, I mean, there's not much to it. It's so simple. That's why I think it works so well. She's just like, let's wait. It's very pointed at the front of her mouth, and I love that. Yeah, this was actually a very beautiful song. Again, I liked everything about it. I was kind of shocked. It's very, it's actually kind of weird coming from He Doesn't Know I'm Alive to Let's Wait a While. Something that's like a little more childish to something a little more mature. But I really did like this one, and I'm happy to know this. I'll listen to this one a few more times for sure, because it's really good. Track number 10, the final track, and also the final single, Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun, which is what we've been doing listening to this album, so let's bring it on home. Oh, this reminds me of something. Oh, she's French now. Ooh. Oh, this reminds me of something. Oh my god.
really have to go. Stop. Stop.
Stop.
Oh, I really have to go. No, I really have to go.
Oh, wow. She's getting a little freaky.
One more time. Oh, je t'aime, mon chéri.
Oh, je t'aime, mon chéri. Okay, that was Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun, and I really like this song. I kind of question the idea of having this be a single, because I feel like You Can Be Mine would have made a much stronger single, but regardless, this was a fun little closer to the album. What I was getting is that she, while this could be talking about the album, because you know we're towards the end of the album, she's also kind of in bed with a dude at the moment, and she's like, I gotta go, and he's like, stay, and she's like, no, I really have to go. But it's like, she's like, I can't believe all this time that we were, you know, getting freaky, it's over. Wow. Okay. So Funny How Time, I loved the French in it too. That was really cool. So Funny How Time Flies is a really lush track. So I genuinely enjoyed it. I thought it was very playful, and I just had a great time listening to it. Okay guys, we did it. We finished Janet Jackson's third studio album, Control, and I have to say this album was kind of like a breath of fresh air, especially after listening to Dream Street. She took the control and she made it well known. So this album, it's one of those iconic albums that it's like, what can you say about it? Now granted, this is my first time listening to it, so it's kind of like I view it through a different like lens per se, but I really don't have any complaints. I think it's a great album from head to toe. I mean, if you cut it, you could, honestly start anew. The more I think about it, it works and it also doesn't work, but it's not like an appalling addition to the album. I didn't mind it either way. I loved every song off of this album. The only one I didn't really like was The Pleasure Principle, and I'm assuming with a few re-listens that one won't grow on me. But the songs I knew, loved. My favorite songs that I learned in this experience were probably You Can Be Mine, He Doesn't Know I'm Alive, Let's Wait a While, and Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun. I think my favorite of those would probably be probably You Can Be Mine. Actually, you know what? I really did like all those I just said, so I mean, it's like hard to pick and choose with those. But I really did like this album. I loved Janet's presence on this. I mean, everything is such an improvement. The production, the vocals, the lyrics, everything about it is just like, whoa. And I'm really excited to see where we head next from here, because I think with the next album, which is Rhythm Nation, we get a lot more interludes and everything, and I feel like that's just the next gradual progression with her artistry. So I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, Control was a really good album. I really had a pleasant time listening to it. It's funny because I know that they've kind of like they influenced each other, but there were a lot of sounds in here that reminded me of Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl. Now granted, that album I think came out after this, but I love me some Paula, and I mean, she did the choreography for Janet, so it's always iconic, but I really did like this. I'm excited to give it a few more re-listens. I think that'll just make it go up even more in the love for my head, but yeah, that was Control. What do you guys think of this album? Let me know in the comments below. As always, do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha, Twitter at Sal Says Stuff, TikTok at SalRocha1, and I'll see you guys very soon. I'll see you next Saturday. Next weekend we'll get you'll get Rhythm Nation 1814 or whatever, and then I think the album that comes after that is Janet, so you'll get those next weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. We got control, we regained the control. This was the story, this was the reaction of my control, and don't forget that you're a little nasty at heart. Bye guys.